Congress or retirement homes? Let's talk term limits and let's get dialed in. Hello and welcome back to Texas Talkin, the show that cuts through the political fog thicker than a bowl of Nancy Pelosi's Botox soup. I'm your host, Shiloh Platts, saying what the fake news media won't with an iconic cowboy hat and an occasional smile. Coming to you from the Lone Star State, where we still believe that elected officials should know how to walk without assistance. Now, tonight's question: why is our government starting to look more like an AARP convention than a legislative body? And the answer? Well, it's not complicated. It's because we keep electing the same 80 and 90-year-olds who were already old when Reagan was in office. Some of them may have even dated Reagan. I'm not here to judge. Let's be honest. If your idea of a TikTok is the sound your pacemaker makes when you stand up too fast, you probably shouldn't be casting votes on artificial intelligence, energy policy, or whether TikTok itself should be banned. Now look, I'm not saying old people are useless. Not at all. We love grandma. We love grandpa. They make amazing cobbler and tell really cool war stories. But Congress isn't a retirement home. It's a battlefield of ideas. And if you haven't had a new idea since dial-up internet or the moon landing, maybe it's time to hang up the gavel and hit the pickleball court. Now let's take a peek at some of these chronologically gifted lawmakers. Dianne Feinstein had to be told she already voted mid-hearing. Chuck Grassley is 90 years old and still in office. Sir, with respect, most of your colleagues are worried about lobbyists. You're worried about calcium intake. And of course, lest we forget, Joe Biden, whose staff literally ran a weekend at Bernie's operation 24/7, complete with note cards and someone whispering, "You're the president," every 15 minutes. It's not ageism, it's realism. There's a biological limit to how many Red Bulls and Adderall you can feed into a senator before they mistake a war resolution for a Denny's menu. Here's the truth, folks. Congress was never meant to be a forever job. The founders didn't fight a revolution just to be ruled by people who sleep in compression socks. Term limits are not radical. They're common sense. Everywhere else in life, we expect turnover. Airline pilots retire, surgeons retire, thank God, truckers retire, but a 94-year-old who's been in Congress since before color television, oh no, they get to decide how much gas costs in Texas. And don't let them fool you with the experience argument. There's a fine line between experience and entrenchment. You've been in D.C. so long, your first campaign ad was a telegram. So here's what I'm proposing. Real simple. A hard cap. 12 years in the House, 12 in the Senate. And that's generous. 4-year instead of 2-year terms for congressmen so they aren't constantly campaigning. After that, you're out. Go write a memoir. Go do a podcast with Karl Rove. Or better yet, just go fishing and leave the rest of us alone. Because at the end of the day, this country was built by the young, preserved by the brave, and it'll be saved by the bold. And none of that's happening if the people writing the laws need 3 interns just to open an email. It's time to drain the gerontocracy, folks, not with malice, but with a respectful nudge toward the retirement home. This is Texas Talkin, where we believe Congress should have more term limits and fewer oxygen tanks. Joining me next is Abiram Garapati, a Republican congressional candidate whose incumbent primary opponent will turn 85 years old if sent back to Washington. Hold it right there. And joining me now is Republican candidate for the 31st Congressional District of Texas, Abiram Garapati. Abiram, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me to the show, Shiloh. Glad to be here.
Well, you're very welcome. And I really want to talk to you right out of the gate about an issue that's very important to me. And I know that is very important to not only many Texans, but many Americans across our country. And that is term limits. Your incumbent opponent, John Carter, will turn 85 years old if reelected to serve out another term in Congress. Now, 12 states have passed resolutions calling on Congress to pass an amendment for term limits. Isn't it time we have term limits in this country?
Shiloh, this is a cause very dear to me because everywhere I go, anybody I meet in my district and across the country, the first issue that comes up is term limits. The people want term limits. And my opponent has been in office for 24 years as a congressman. And prior to that, he has been in government for the last 50 years.
Well, then he's been in government longer than I've been alive, and he's been in Congress for over half of my life.
And he has been in government more than I was the time I was alive too. So it's ridiculous that people are allowed to be in these positions for as long they are being. And I proposed a solution to this.
Okay, what is it?
12 years, any position, get out after 12 years.
Well, you have not seen the monologue that I recorded for this segment, but that's exactly what I'm suggesting as well. 12 years, and then you're out.
Two terms for Senate, 6 terms for congressman. Do your best and get out after that. That's the terminus. And that's the first law I will propose and pass if I am elected to Congress. And I put that on my website.
Speaking of some of the things that you've come out for, you've vowed to not take any campaign contributions and to forego both the congressional salary as well as the pension if elected. You've committed to trading no stocks if elected. Wow. Tell me more about this.
Shiloh, I came to this country on a one-way flight ticket from a socialist country and a poverty-stricken life. I built a very successful business today worth $100 million.
Wow.
I don't need any more money. And I don't trade stocks now. I don't have a stock account. I don't even have a 401k account today. And I don't plan on having one in the future. All my investments are in real estate. I own properties in 14 states of the US. And I refuse to take a salary from a government that is bankrupt. We need to focus on fixing our debt. Our national debt is a disaster that's waiting to crash the country. Our kids and our future have no future generations have no future. We are paying almost 10% of our federal budget every year just on interest payments. And this is not sustainable.
No, sir, it's not.
And the 37 trillion debt we have is ridiculous. And see the corruption in Congress. The Doge was supposed to be Congress. And the few months that Doge was inactive, they found so much corruption. It was unbelievable. And see how quietly they have shut off Doge. Now nobody hears anything about Doge anymore. And we are back to the normal spending ways of Congress and government. That's exactly what I will do, fight for. Be the Doge champion in Congress, eliminate all the waste and the fraud while refusing a salary and a pension until we have a balanced budget, until we pay off our national debt. These are things very dear to me, and I'm going to fight on these causes for behalf of the American people.
Well, that is certainly leading by example. And I want to talk to you for a minute, Abiram, about some of your key issues, right? Where do you stand on some of the most important issues to the American people? And why should the people of the 31st Congressional District of Texas take a chance on you? Tell me about it.
Yes, sir. I am the only candidate refusing any kind of campaign contributions in my race, in my district. I'm the only candidate who is focused on serving the people. I'm not a candidate who shows up before the election. I have been actively serving the party, actively serving the community for the last 10 years. I go to meet the people every day. I'm actively participating in all the public activities. I'm dearly concerned about a few things our nation needs right now. It needs some visionary people in Congress, in government. There is absolute lack of vision right now. When was the last time we felt proud as a nation that we are sending a man to the moon or doing a project that we all feel proud about?
Some
Most
of
of
the
the
people in Congress have been there since we sent a man to the moon. So
exactly, and
I believe in the spirit of rotation.
yes, and the problem is there all the projects, everything, all the high speed rail, all the cool, exciting buildings, they're all coming up in Saudi or Middle East or China. We are not they're not happening in America just because of the lack of vision of our politicians. It's all status quo right now. They're gaming the system, and they know how to win election after election after election without doing anything. And that's what is the change people need. They're desperately looking for change. They're sick of these 86, 85-year-old politicians who don't do anything for our country. And the change is going to happen, and we are going to win this time. The people are behind me of my district. They're really looking for a change, and they're really looking for a person who can fight for them and their values in Congress.
Well, where can people go if they want to learn more about you or perhaps even get involved with your campaign? I know you're not taking campaign contributions. What a novel concept. But if people want to actually help you block walk or do other things to help your campaign, where can they go? Where's the best place for my viewers to take a look?
My best place is my website, www.garapati, that's my last name, GARAPATI, for Texas.com.
We will put that on the screen.
Thank you, sir. That is where they can find me, and I'm very active on social media, and I can meet anybody anytime. My cell phone number is on my website, so anybody can call me, and I'll always be approachable.
And so for people who don't know, what are some of the major cities that are in the 31st Congressional District of Texas?
So my district is the heart of America. It is the heart of Texas. It covers 6 counties of Bell, Williamson, Coriel, Hamilton, Bosque, and Burnett. Some of the major cities are Burnett, Marble Falls, Georgetown, Leander, Cedar Park, and Temple, Belton, Gatesville, and these are some of the big cities in mine is majorly a rural district with very hardworking people here. The folks are all hardworking people who are struggling to get by, and they all need help, and that's why I'm running for office.
Before we sign off tonight, I would like to encourage everybody who is watching this show to lift up in prayer the families and the victims of the horrendous, tragic flooding that we've seen ravage Central Texas over the weekend. There are still many people who are unaccounted for, and unfortunately, many who have passed away. So, ending on a slightly serious note, please lift those folks up in prayer. Abiram, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to come on and talk to us tonight. I wish you luck. I love new ideas, and I look forward to speaking with you again, sir. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless the great state of Texas. Thank you for helping us keep Texas talking.
Thank you, Shiloh, for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, sir. Stay dialed in to interviews and content just like this by clicking that follow button on my Facebook page, or hit the subscribe button to learn more about exclusive access that you won't want to miss.